Hey, how you doing today? I am Prophetess Takiya Coleman, best-selling author, God-ordained marriage coach, and founder of God-ordainedmarriage.com. I wanted to jump on here and just talk about help me help you win in your God-ordained marriage, plus those who are standing for marriage restoration. You know, help me help you win. Okay, so I have no. Let me just say this. I have no notes for this live. This is a live. You said you finally caught me live. Look at God. But thank you. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm excited you were able to catch this live. So again, I'm here with no notes, no direction. I do know what I have to say. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say it and let God work. Okay. But here's the thing. Okay. So many of you already know my situation, right? Back in April, um, the Lord, you know, he basically told me to leave my place, right? It's a long story. He basically told me to leave my three bedroom home I was living at, right? And it was because the warfare. It was for many different reasons, right? Mainly the warfare. Okay. Some of you who've been following my journey, you already know what I'm going through. You know, my members, of my programs and stuff, you all see the attacks, that's coming my way. So this isn't new. But so the Lord, He had me back in April leave our place, and we went into a hotel. And we've been in the hotel ever since April, and God been providing, He been providing, um, He been showing up. And so here's the thing, okay? The Lord gave me a dream 2 nights ago. He gave me a dream 2 nights ago, and it ticked me off, okay? I ain't gonna even lie. It ticked me off because in the dream, it was kind of blurry, but I do remember when I woke up, I do remember in the dream, the enemy, my attackers, they were trying to get me put out of this hotel that I'm currently at, okay? And so that's why I woke up just ticked off, okay? Because I was like, here they go, they back at it again, right? Because ever since April, since moved into these hotels, we have to continue to stay in this moving process. Meaning, we can't just sit at one hotel and just stay there until God, move us into our place. No, we got to continue to keep moving because of these attackers. Okay, they keep on sending these attacks our way. If you know anything about spiritual warfare, then you know what I'm about. You know what I'm talking about. It's true. They keep sending these attacks our way. Some of these attacks scare my children. I got to calm them down. The last attack, we was at this one current hotel, and it was an attack on my finance at this last hotel. And the Lord gave me another dream, when I was at that hotel. But in the dream, he was basically, I heard a boy in my dream. He was saying, "You gotta go, you gotta leave, you can't stay here. They're gonna overtake you, right?" And so when I woke up, I knew that was a message from the Lord, warning me, letting me know you can't stay at this current hotel, right? So we end up leaving. We end up leaving that day. I take heed to the warnings. Okay, I really do. When God give me a warning, when He give me, however way He give me that warning, I leave, and that's how it was in my place in April. I was trying to pack all my things and put it in the storage, and God was like, "Leave that stuff." He was like, "Leave it. You got to go now." So that kind of the emphasis He put on it made me feel like um, my life was in danger, right? So I just hurried up and left. And so we end up leaving that hotel after God gave me that warning. And so, like I said, we can't really stay long term at one particular hotel because of the enemies who are attacking us, okay? What they are trying to do, I need you all to understand this, okay? What they are trying to do is um, they try to take me out, okay? Because I'm the one leading God ordained marriage, okay? And so in their mindset, their wicked mindset, and I know they're listening, their wicked mindset, if we can go ahead and remove the leader, then you all won't be standing strong and you won't get come into your God ordained marriage or for my standards who standing for marriage restoration. They after the enemy is after these marriages, okay? All right. I need y'all to understand this. Okay. And I need you to understand when the attacks increase, you know what that means? In my situation, what that means when the attacks increase, the enemy, because they operate in divination, they already seeing that we're making progress in the spirit. They already seeing y'all mirrors breaking through, right? So they increase their attacks and they target me. Okay. And so I need y'all to understand that, okay? I'm their target. I pray. I be up, 3, 4, 5, in the morning and stuff. My kids know, they know how to spot, monitor spirits. I train them. I have to talk to them because, like how I said, some of these attacks scare the kids, and I have to help them to understand, what this is. You see what I'm saying? So that it can reduce the fear, and they put their faith and trust in God and also in mommy, because they be like, pray mommy, pray. It's so funny. So long story short, like I said, the Lord gave me a dream 2 days ago, 2 nights ago, and when I woke up I was ticked off. I really was, because I was like, they're back at it again. Just yesterday, it was all these bugs, around the windows and stuff. And I just shut the blinds. I was like, I'm so sick of them. I just shut the blinds so I couldn't even see it. It's all outside the door of the hotel. I was like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of them, right? And so, long story short, I woke up this morning to a negative situation, which is why I'm here. Okay. I woke up to a negative situation, which is why I'm here. I can't go into details on the negative situation because I need you to understand monitoring spirit. The more information they have on you, if I was to go in details on that negative situation that happened this morning, I would be telling my enemies how to keep on attacking me. Okay, so I just need you to hear me by the spirit. Okay. um so like how I said, I woke up this morning to a negative situation, and it was confirming the dream that God gave me 2 nights ago. I know who my attackers are, and I know what they're trying to do. Okay, they want me to quit. They want me to give up. They don't want to see you all marriage come together. They don't want your marriage restored. I need you to understand this. Okay, some of these attackers are attacking your marriage as well. Okay, and so I need your help. Okay, I need your help, okay? Financially. I'm gonna just be honest right here. I need your help financially. Y'all know I don't come on here and ask you to sow anything, okay? But I need your help now. Okay. I need you to help me so I can continue to help you win and get into your God ordained marriage. Okay. I ain't going anywhere. I had this talk with the Lord. I told God, I have enough wisdom and discernment to know this isn't God. Because most people, when they find themselves in this situation, they'll blame God. They'll take it out on God. They get mad at God. No, I know who's attacking me. God was the one who warned me. I know who's attacking me. So, and I know God want me to continue to stand and continue to lead this, but I need your help. Okay. I need your help to help me to, continue to push through, because it's kind of hard. Um, it's hard on me to continue to do this when I have all these burdens on me. Okay. So some of the ways how you all can help, for those of you who God put it on your heart to help, if you want to help sow a financial seed into myself, you can do that by you can sow into, we have Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. That's in the description box. Also, in other ways you can help, you can enroll into any of our programs. Okay, so we have the Healing from Betrayal program. That's a 6-month coaching program that ends in January. So if you all want to enroll into that, you can. We also have our short-term mentorship for new life coaches. That's currently going. Okay, we're on week 2, so you can enroll into that course as well if you are a life coach and you want to learn how to get clients. Number 3, the third program, we have the Pray Him Free mentorship program. Okay, that's starting next month. And we also have our God-ordained merit life coach certification course, okay, which is coming up in November. So you all can, the way how you can help is you can either sow seeds of blessing if God put that on your heart, or you can enroll into any of our programs. Or if you would like to book a one-on-one session with myself, I did lower the rate. Okay, I lowered the rate. So if you just go on the website, you will see the rate. That's going to be that's not going to be a permanent rate. But for right now, okay, because many of you been still emailing me asking for that old price, that old price I was offering. I lowered the rate. Okay, so if you want to book a session with myself, you can go on the website, God-ordainedmarriages.com, click on coaching, and you can book your session with myself from over there. Also, if you go on the website, God-ordainedmarriages.com, and click on events, that's where you will see all of our programs we are offering. Okay. Let me say this because I want to be clear. And I said this to God. I'm not going to be stressed doing this. Okay. I understand, this process. I believe in God ordained marriage. I see God restoring marriages. I see how God is working. And I also have clients. Let me say this too. I also have clients who are also going through what I'm going through. They just don't say anything. They book session with me and I help them, give them strategies. But they also going through this. Okay, the enemy after them as well, trying to make them homeless, attacking their finances as well. So it's not just me. It's a lot of people going through this, but they silent. They suffering in silence. But I'm not going to be quiet and I'm not going to give up. But I'm gonna tell you this, okay? I got to be clear because I said this to the Lord. If I don't get any help here, okay, then I can't stay here. Okay, I can't continue to show up pouring into you all, right? And I'm not getting the help I need. Okay, so it got to be, I help you, you help me. That's how it have to be here. Okay, because in my logical mind, it doesn't make sense to continue to pour where I'm not getting the help. If that's the case, I could just go get a job. Okay, so I'm trying to be obedient, and I want to see you all come into your marriage, but I need your help. I need your help to continue to, show up, and pour into you and give you these strategies you all need to learn when it comes down to being joined in your God ordained marriage. So let me see. I'm just looking in the chat. How do I make an appointment to talk to you? Yeah, you could go to my website, go to godordainedmarriages.com, click on coaching, and you can book a session with me over there. And again, I lowered the rate so you can take advantage of that rate while it's available. And let's see. Yeah. She said that's what I'm dealing with. The woman in the house has been attacking me emotionally. Yeah. I know, feel as if I need to get out of this house and be in a hotel until I get my own. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And see, here's the thing. Let me just say this. The reason why God put me in a hotel because versus me going into my other place because I actually tried. I actually applied to different apartment complexes. And this is how I knew this was God resisting me. This was God telling me, no, I don't want you to go into these I don't want you to get a place right now because I applied at this one apartment that I really like. And you know what they said? They denied me, right? You know the reason why they denied me? She said because your finances, she said my income statement. She was like, it's not, I like it organized. It's not organized the way how I would like it. So we gotta decline it. I said I ain't never heard nobody get denied because their income statement isn't organized. I never heard of that. And so that was the second denial. So I went to the Lord. I said, are you resisting me? I said, are you resisting my plan? I said, because I never heard somebody get denied because of that. And that's when the Lord told me, he was like, basically, yes, it was the Lord resisting me. So I was like, all right, okay. And I understand why he want me here, okay? Because the enemies who's sending these attacks my way, they trying to pin me. They're trying to they're trying to pin me into a location and like overtake me, right? And so that's why God constantly had me moving. We see this play out in the Bible. You see how Saul was coming after David and he kept on moving. He had to keep running from David. And I had went to God. I said, why we got to keep running from these enemies? I'm tired of them. I'm sick of them, But we see this play out in the Bible, how the enemy was coming after God's people, and God kept moving them, getting them out of harm's way or whatever. But a day is coming where, and I know y'all listening, the day is coming when you're gonna get overtaken by the Lord. The Lord, He's gonna show up. He is showing up, and He's fighting my battles. And He's gonna get us out of this situation. I believe it. I really do. I really believe it. So, um, yeah, hold up. That happens to Isaac when the enemies took the wells he dug up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My old job was like that. Attacks were everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. God has His people in transition right now. And we crossing over. We gonna cross over. Okay. We going to cross over, but like how I said, I need y'all to help me to cross over. Okay. So again, if the Lord put it on your heart to help, to sow any seeds or enroll into a program or a book, a coaching session, I encourage you to do it. Because we do need the help, and I already had this conversation with the Lord. I said, I had made a decision in my mind because I used to allow the enemy to stress me out. Not anymore. I said, I would not be stressed out, okay, doing the work of the Lord. And I told this to God, okay. I said, God, I need you to show up. I need you to help. This is what I need. I told God what I need. This is what I need. I'm believing you're going to send it. I'm still going to go to sleep tonight. I'm not going to be straining my eyes open. Because we fight every night spiritually with these enemies. I'm going to sleep, okay? And when I wake up, we're going to get the warring in the spirit, okay? That's my attitude. That is my attitude. Okay, so I'm just looking in the comment. Oh, okay. And make sure you check the video, daughter Abraham. Make sure check that video I put out about I forgot what I titled it, but I was basically giving y'all tips on when you living in a hotel. Okay. All right, great. I look forward to it. She said, I'm expecting to book a session with you soon. I look forward to it. All right. So that is it. Like I said, I don't have any long drawn out notes. That's what I'm here, for. I am going to come back on here because I ain't gonna even lie. Like last night, I had stayed up to about 1 o'clock in the morning and I had a great idea. I had a great idea and I was excited about it. And then when I woke up to this negative situation, I was like, I'm sick of this. I didn't want to implement the idea, but I'm gonna continue to go forward with it. So I'm gonna come back on here. I'm gonna go ahead forward with that idea the Lord gave me last night, and we're gonna keep on moving forward. Okay. You remember that video? Okay, cool. Yeah. So that is it. I'll see you all a little bit later. Um, Everything is in the description area. Keep me and my children in prayer. We okay. We okay. I know how to engage in spiritual warfare, but like how I said, we need financial help right now. Okay, to keep us going. All right. So with that, were you upset when you were out of your home into a hotel? Yes, I was. I was upset because number one, I was upset because I had just furnished the place. So, and then to hear God telling me when I was trying to put all my furniture into the store, He was like, "Leave it," and he was like he was yelling. So that helped me to understand the emphasis. Like you got to get out. So I was mad about that because I was like, man, that's a waste of money. I just bought all this furniture, now I gotta leave all this stuff here. Then I was also mad too because I like that place. I really did like that place. um, and I just didn't feel like going through this. Like who feel like living in a hotel? Who feel like going through that? And then you gotta deal with the kids, right? You gotta help them to understand. I didn't feel like going through all that. So I was upset. But the Lord had to give me understanding. He had to help me to understand, this not a setback. And it's not. It may look like it, it may feel like it, but he had to help me understand it's not a setback, Tequila. You know, this is God, getting me in position. And the enemy know it. That's why they keep coming for me. And let me tell you this, and when I had made that first announcement, we were in the hotel, I picked up new enemies. New enemies came attacking, trying to stop me. I said, boy, these wicked people out here. Wicked. So that's it. I'm gonna get off of here before I say what I really want to say, okay? But I'm not going to give them that joy. All right. So you all enjoy the rest of your day. Let me just say thank you to those who, if you know you're going to sow, I thank you in advance, okay, for your seed. And let me take this off of here. There we go. I thank you in advance for your seed. I appreciate you. And let's continue to stand strong. Okay. So that is it. I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.